We are at Sun and Fun. This show starts the aviation season to many people, but there's another show that starts the aviation year. That's the Sebring U.S. Sport Aviation Expo. I'm Dan Johnson, and today I get to talk with all of the big shots of that event that's so important to this community. I got Mike Willingham, the manager of the, what is the title?
Executive Director.
Executive Director of the airport. Jana Phillip, the Executive Director of the Expo, would that be correct?
Director of the Expo.
Director of the Expo. And Scott, what's your title again?
I'm the Chairman of the Airport Authority.
Chairman of the Airport Authority. So that's pretty much the heavyweights of the lightweight air show, which is kind of cool. So this year, Jana, I'll speak to you about this because you're the one that runs the event with a lot of good support here from your other folks, but how was 2013?
You know, 2013 was a success. The people that were there had success in selling airplanes and paraphernalia, and that's always the goal.
So you're coming up on kind of a big event. 10th anniversary. It's kind of hard to believe that Sebring is 10 years old now, but
that's when you're having fun.
That's right. And we have a lot of fun at Sebring.
We have had a lot of fun.
It's such a nice airport to go do demo flying at, those big wide runways, and they're right there, and you do a great job of making it work for the exhibitors, of which you had, I believe, 160. Is that the right number for this year?
Yep, we had right at 160.
So it's virtually every LSA anybody wants to see. So.
At forums too, and we did Patty Wagstaff, and it really, I mean, it was packed.
Yeah, it was. So tell us a little bit about the forums, not only the informative ones, but the more entertaining ones that you had available this year.
We had over 700 attendees attend over 40 forums.
Is that right?
And we like to have a main focus every year, and this year it was flying sport aviation over water and everything that goes along with that. Survival skills, you know, the whole bit. And that was for you all who flew to the Bahamas after that. And so those were very successful. Then we have keynote speakers as well. And Patty Wagstaff, who flew during our first ever Twilight Air Show, just did a wonderful job. And she actually spoke for the expo a couple of times.
Well, one thing I want to talk about that Patty Wagstaff had something to do with was you've got a new activity going on in the airport that's not part of the expo. It's there all year long, but it's about youth in aviation. That was a really encouraging thing to see. Give us just a few words about that, either one of you.
Well, I'd say that the Airport Authority, Scott, and the rest of the board have been really supportive of the EAA and bringing youth into the aviation program, because we know that's the future. If we don't replace the pilots that are getting older, as we all are, with folks that have some years on them to get into the sport. And
pass that knowledge on, yeah.
Absolutely, we've got to do that. And so the Airport Authority has really partnered with the EAA on this project.
Well, that's really great. So Scott, we want to thank you and your team of board members, I suppose it is, that have given that support, because I was very impressed with that. You attracted some investment toward it. You had a nice event that night, and got to tell people about things.
The debut of their new building.
Yeah, so that was exciting. And
the Airport Authority contributed, I think, the land for the building.
Is that right?
And also about $8,000 for various landscaping and signage improvements for the building. So we have really went over and above to assist this organization and help them make it successful.
Well, this EAA chapter development is really interesting. And Scott, you had a little more you'd like to add about what's going on with that particular development.
Yes, sir. The chapter of EAA that is at the Sebring Airport is very focused on the youth. That's the primary focus of the members of our chapter. We do a lot of Young Eagles flights, and as you had mentioned before, attracted some investment from a gentleman that allowed us to build the hangar. And they're going to eventually refurbish an airplane. And actually we have one of our young ladies who was part of the program at Lake Placid High School. The instructor at Lake Placid High School, that's the president of our EAA chapter, has an aviation program there, and that's the genesis of that. And she has now moved on to Embry-Riddle.
Is that right? Excellent.
So that's the goal, is to get these kids interested in aviation, exposed to it when they wouldn't normally be able to through Young Eagles, get them excited, and then move on to aviation career.
Well, I know you did some with the Polk County, I believe it is, high schools. Polk County?
Polk
College. Oh, okay. Yeah. That group of bringing in young folks and giving them that kind of help, that's great. I want to turn to you for a moment, Mike, and just say, you know, I've watched during the time. I don't know if I've seen all of your management there at the airport, but I remember coming out to Sebring, and it was once a little dilapidated looking, and now it's all shiny and bright and, you know, almost castles in the air kind of thing. You've had quite a run there in your period.
We've been blessed with a great board of directors. We had a good relationship with our city and our county. You know, our city and county put more than $8 million, maybe
wow.
$10 million by now into the airport, which allowed us to match grants and do these capital projects. So we just finished our runway, our full depth existing footprint of our north-south runway extension, our reconstruction, and now looking forward to getting the extension done, taking that runway to about 7,000 feet.
Wow, that's great. You know, airplanes got to have a runway to land on, and they don't just happen, and they need maintenance. So great job in your years of being at the head of at the airport there, Mike. It's obviously transformed the place. So let's finish with this thought. You've got Sebring U.S. Sport Aviation Expo number 10 coming up. You've got an announcement you'd like to finish off here with.
Number 10 is coming up, and it will be held January the 16th through the 19th, another 4-day event.
What's the website? We'll put it up on the screen, and tell us the website address.
It is www.sport-aviation-.com.
Okay, I've got information about that. I've got the dates of the next show available on bydanjohnson.com or bydanjohnson.com. Thanks a lot for joining us today.